welcome to another exciting episode of Dayspring Discussions. I'm your host, Sean McGahee, and this is a show where we talk about movies, TV, sci-fi, fantasy, comic books. If you geek out about it, we're going to talk about it. You can listen to Dayspring Discussions on iTunes, YouTube, Podomatic, and Patreon, and contact us on the Facebook group, on Twitter, and dayspringdiscussions@gmail.com, guys. Happy Wednesday, everybody. It is a gloomy, rainy, and cold Wednesday here in Austin, Texas, which is the best time to sit back, drink some coffee, get some nice warm clothes on, and catch up on some TV. That's right, guys. I'm off today, so I'm not planning on leaving the house. I just watched last night's CW shows, Flash and Legends Tomorrow. I'm going to try to catch up on a few shows like Gifted and maybe Punisher. Don't hold your breath. And I'm going to read some comments because it is Wednesday, New Comic Day. And I'll be sure to get some reviews to you tomorrow as far as what my picks are for this week. But seeing how I haven't done a show in a week, mainly because of scheduling, but also because I really don't think there's a lot coming out that is worthy to talk about or worthy to where I might have a lot to say. So it's a mixture of why I haven't had a show in a week. Here's how it's going to go. I'm going to run through a couple stories that came out within the last week. I'm going to try to get through as many as I can before my time runs out. And then you guys fire back on social media. Let me know what you think about what I'm talking about. And of course, hit up the Facebook group as well, and we can discuss stuff there, alright? So, first up, Warner Brothers has released the first picture of Robin for their upcoming Titans TV series that is going to be streamed on their DC streaming service. In this, we see our first look of Brenton Thwaites as Robin, aka Dick Grayson. Now, the series is set to be one of several shows that is going to kick off Warner Brothers' digital streaming service next year. Along with Robin, we're going to get Starfire, Dove, Hawk, Raven, all the groups of the original Teen Titans minus Cyborg because they're currently using him in the movies. So looking at this first picture, I would say, okay, he looks cool. The costume looks cool. I mean, there's really not much else to say as I haven't reported on it yet. I have mediocre hopes for the series, especially since on the digital streaming service. I will tell you I'm definitely going to pick this up when it comes out, not just because of Young Justice Season 3, and then hopefully I'm hoping this digital streaming service puts all the DC Warner Brothers content. I want to see Batman the Animated Series. I want to see some original Christopher Reeve Superman movies. I want to see anything that Warner Brothers has put out. Give me some animated DC movies, all that stuff. If you're going to make me pay for this, I want it to be worth my while. Original content, like I said, they're getting the Young Justice, they're doing Titans. It looks like they're trying to get a Harley Quinn animated series in the works too. Whatever, but first look at this. Robin looks cool, looks good, costume looks good. Very reminiscent, I think, really, of the Batman Forever Chris O'Donnell costume, where it's like kind of armored. I don't think it has nipples though, so that's kind of a good thing compared to what Chris O'Donnell wore in the two Batman films. But in any event, the picture looks cool, but really you can't tell until we actually see a trailer. And to be honest, Robin is probably the least person I'm worried about as far as the look. Starfire's orange and like half naked, so how they're going to do her, I'm very interested in. And then Hawk and Dove, their costumes are very not that cool, so I want to see how they do that as well. And then, of course, Raven, she's got that dark and dreary look going on. So we'll see how they bring that out. But Robin looks cool. I'm looking forward to see how the other ones look. And, of course, I want to see a trailer before I get a full grasp and full thoughts as to how this is going to go down. All right, next up, Zachary Levi, star of the upcoming Shazam film, has come out and said that he's comparing the film to Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, saying, quote, Shazam gets to be fun, jovial because he's Billy Batson, he's 13. It's the movie big but with superpowers, which I'm beyond stoked about. James Gunn of the gang killed it. It brought so much heart and humor. I think it was kind of the dark horse that took everyone by storm. I think Shazam kind of has the possibility to do that. And then he went on just to talk about how excited he is for the project. I gotta say, he might be the only one. Given the state of Warner Brothers right now, I think Levi came out with this statement and wanted to really try to reassure some fans of Shazam that the film might possibly still be in the works. Set to be directed by David F. Sandberg, who also directed Lights Out and Annabelle Creation. The film is set to be released in April 2019. Given the status of the DC Cinematic Universe right now, I don't think everything is up in the air. The only thing that's a sure thing right now is that Aquaman, directed by James Wan, starring Jason Momoa, is going to come out next year as planned. It's already done filming. It's in post-production. We know that's pretty much in the bag. But Wonder Woman 2, Shazam, sure, they've got release dates set for them, but nothing has started filming. No pre-production really has started, from what I know. Until Warner Brothers figures out what they're going to do with their upper management and how everything is going to run, I wouldn't count on anything else really coming out. It's a shame, though, because with the DC Cinematic Universe, I think they are on the right track. But Justice League was a disaster. I mean, all the new reports that come out about what went on during the production, both at a high-ranking level and below, with directors and editing and release dates and all that stuff, it seems like a disaster. So you can see why the film is what it is. But I don't know, guys. I mean, I don't know. I mean, Zachary Levi I'm a huge fan of, and I think Shazam would be a good film for him. But I don't know how this film's going to go. I don't know how the DC Universe and the movies are going to go until we find out what Warner Brothers is actually going to do with the cinematic universe. Honestly, I think everything is on hold. And yes, Wonder Woman 2 and Shazam are still set to come out, but I'm giving about 70% chance they won't come out. That's just my pessimistic side. But I want them to. I don't know. We'll wait and see, guys. Next on the list, Quentin Tarantino may be directing a Star Trek movie. That's right, guys. Tarantino has an idea for a new Star Trek movie, and J.J. Abrams is putting together a writer's room on the project, according to Deadline. Sources say that Tarantino told his idea to Abrams, and the writers were gathered to work on the idea. There is no confirmation on the Star Trek movie idea for Paramount or from Tarantino. Some people might be excited about this. Tarantino, a very famous director with films like Django Unchained, Pulp Fiction, The Hateful Eight. Why? I mean, are you kidding me? I mean, it's not going to happen. Sure, he can write a Star Trek idea, but Tarantino, if you look at his style of writing and his style of filmmaking, he may have a good idea, but they're putting together a writer's room to refine the idea and make it more Star Trek-ish. Tarantino directing a Star Trek movie is the last thing this franchise needs right now. Some people are like, yeah, that's a cool idea. Pull your head out of your ass, okay? Tarantino, he's a great director, okay? He gets some great films, is a great writer, but he's not a Star Trek writer. No thanks. Not going to happen. Shouldn't happen. He's got an idea. Great. Get him in there for some writing credits, some producing credits, pay him some money. That's fine. But get him behind the camera. I think you're going to have a lot of pissed off fans who are already mad that this franchise has gone away from the original Star Trek they loved. You're going to go further away if you put Tarantino in charge. I don't see it happening, guys. Nor would I want to see it happen. Speaking of Star Trek, actress Alice Eve has been cast to join Iron Fist Season 2 for Netflix. As of right now, they're not revealing who her character is going to be. But Marvel's head of television, Jeff Loeb, said, quote, "We are very excited to have an actress of Alice's stature join the cast of Marvel's Iron Fist. Her exceptional talent brings in intrigue and danger to her character, unlike anyone else." Now, the new showrunner, Raven Metzer, says, "We're over the moon that Alice is joining us this season. We think she's going to be a great addition to an already stellar cast." Now, I can't remember the name of the showrunner who did the first season of Iron Fist, but I know it's the same guy who did Inhumans. And oh my god, that guy is never going to work for Marvel again. Inhumans and Iron Fist Season 1 are the worst things to come out of Marvel Studios ever. And that's including my hatred for Thor Ragnarok. So, they've got a new showrunner in place. Alice Eve, we don't know who she is, so kind of like with the Robin picture, I can't really get excited until I see the context of it. So, I like Alice Eve. She's been in Star Trek. She's been in several other things. I think she's totally hot, especially with that British accent. So, having someone of that talent join the cast, I think is great. But it's not going to mean a damn if you don't get the show running right. You need to get Danny Rand on track being actual Danny Rand. Finn Jones, I don't know if it's him. I don't know if it's the way the character's written. But he's been a shitty Danny Rand. Horrible season. I want it back on track, guys. Iron Fist is one of my favorite Marvel characters. Read an Iron Fist comic book, for God's sakes, and get this show back on track. I feel like I'm just like venting today for some reason. Sorry, but let's move on. We are mere days away from Star Wars The Last Jedi coming out, guys. That's right. I get to see the film next Thursday. Some lucky people get to see it sooner than that. And my excitement is getting higher and higher as the days go by. Lisa and I have started our saga review. We're all the way up to Star Wars Episode 4 New Hope. We watched that last night. Got 3 more films to watch before we see The Last Jedi next Thursday. I'm totally excited. I'm totally excited for this film. It looks good. People say it's good. I am just over the moon about what we're going to get. Now, Rian Johnson, the director, has been tapped to make a brand new trilogy. He says it's not going to be connected to anything that's going on in Star Wars right now. A lot of people speculate it's going to be set in the Old Republic era, which is something fans are kind of clamoring for. Unfortunately, when speaking with Mashable, Johnson said that that's not the case. He said, "Oh, they love Knights of the Old Republic. I played the game when it first came out, and it was like, God, I loved it. Yeah, it's a fantastic game. I understand it. The instinct to automatically go to something that you know and love and you've already seen. To me, what's really fun is the notion of what new stuff we are going to see, what new stories we can tell." Going on a little farther into the interview, Johnson pretty much said his new trilogy is not going to be Old Republic, which I know will disappoint a lot of people, but to me it gets me a little more excited too. The unknown can be very scary. It can also be very exciting. Johnson went to Kathleen Kennedy and pitched him this idea for a Star Wars trilogy, or new Star Wars trilogy, outside of the Skywalker or episodic films. And she said yes. Now, the last time someone pitched her an idea and they said yes, we got Rogue One, which, having watched it the other night, I still think is a good film. And if we get the same result with that, if not better, I think we're going to be okay. I would love to see Old Republic, but now that Johnson has confirmed that it's not going to be in the movies, it makes me feel better that we might get a TV series, kind of the style of Game of Thrones, on the Disney streaming service that's coming out in 2019. We already know we're getting a live-action Star Wars series. Is that it? Is it the Bounty Hunter series? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But in any event, I can't say I fully trust Johnson at this point until I've seen The Last Jedi. But Disney and Lucasfilm loved The Last Jedi so much, or what he did with it, to let him do another trilogy. So if they trust him enough without having The Last Jedi come out, we the fans have to trust them as well. Because with Star Wars right now, in this new era of Star Wars we're doing, they really are doing a good job. Rebels is great. Rogue One and Force Awakens are both great. Sure, they've had a couple of books that are nah, and a couple of comic books that are nah. But overall, with the films, the main thing, they're getting it right. So their judgment with Kathleen Kennedy and Disney is good so far. So I got to trust their judgment with Rian Johnson. I think we're going to be okay. Now, keeping with Star Wars, I just want to briefly mention the Daisy Ridley story that's been going around this last week, where she had an interview and basically said that after Episode 9, she was going to be done with Star Wars. But she's also quoted as saying, "Never say never." You could take this from many different angles. Now, on surface, it looks like she's, ungrateful about something that has made her career, that has put her on the map, and she's done. But maybe she also wants to move on from there because some Star Wars actors got caught in a rut and they really couldn't move past Star Wars. And she doesn't want to be one of those people. I understand that. To me, I think it's kind of a sidestep. I don't think she's saying I'll never do Star Wars again after Episode 9. I think what she's saying is, as of right now, there are no plans for her to come back in the near future to do Star Wars. Kathleen Kennedy said recently that they've got many films in the future starring the continuing adventures of Rey, Finn, Poe, BB-8. I think they're going to let Rian Johnson do his trilogy. That's going to take, 6 to 8 years. And then they'll come back and revisit Rey. Now, also, because of comments that Kathleen Kennedy has said in the past about how the episodes are Skywalker adventures, about the Skywalker family, it's making me think that Rey might not be a Skywalker. Because at this point, we have a Skywalker, or a new Skywalker in the story, which is Kylo Ren. We also have Luke. I can see Rey not being a Skywalker, but then again, I can also see her being a Skywalker. And then Kylo Ren and Luke biting it, both of them, by the end of Episode 9, which means the Skywalker saga is done. If that's the case, I think we need to put a lid on episodes. We just need to go straight to Star Wars, no more episodes. The episodes were the Skywalker story, much like Kathleen Kennedy said. So if Luke and Kylo and no other Skywalker survives post Episode 9, no more episodes. That's what I think. Now, it's also been rumored that J.J. Abrams is going to tie in the entire episode saga in Episode 9, bringing stuff from the original trilogy and also the prequels, bringing it all together. That, again, makes me believe the Skywalker story is ending. The Skywalkers are an important family in the galaxy, but the galaxy is millions and millions of years old, and we're talking about 60 to 100 years, maybe, of the Skywalker story. I think we can go past it at this point. I love Luke. I love the Skywalkers, but you give me new characters that are great and lovable and fun to watch, I can get on board with that too, as long as you go Jedi. I'm a Jedi fan. That's what I like about Star Wars. Give me Sith and Jedi, or give me people who use the light side and the dark side. Just give me lightsabers, really, and I'll be a happy person. But that's kind of my new thoughts on it now. I can see Rey not being a Skywalker and them still continuing their story 8, 10 years down the road. Bring them back. The galaxy's moved on. But I can also see her being a Skywalker. If she is a Skywalker, let's keep the episodes going. If she isn't, let's end the episodes and be the next thing with Rey. Just be Star Wars. No need for the episodes anymore. We don't know, guys. We don't know until Last Jedi comes out. And even then, we still won't know until Episode 9 comes out. All I can say is I'm super excited for this film. I am literally bursting to see this. I'm seeing it Thursday night and Friday night next week. And I'm sure I'm going to see it a lot more than that. And you can be sure that I'm going to do my review Saturday or Sunday next weekend. So stay tuned for that. But that's all I got for this show, guys. I know I kind of did a rapid fire, kind of out of the ordinary show. Like I said, there are these things I don't think are really newsworthy or something I have a lot to say about. That's why I haven't done a show in a while, aside from the time that I don't have to do them. But I wanted to give you something, right? So tomorrow I'll be back. I'll have some comic reviews, hopefully a couple more stories to do, and then we'll go on from there. So hit me up, Facebook group, Twitter, dayspringdiscussions@gmail.com. You can find me personally, Slim Dayspring 12, and let me know, are you excited for Star Wars? Check out the Facebook group because I do post a lot of stuff there. I'm sure in the next week or so I'll be posting a bunch of Star Wars stuff as I get excited for The Last Jedi. I'm also going to do a couple polls too, so stay tuned for that on the Facebook group. I'm thinking best death, best lightsaber battle, best droid, stuff like that. So keep an eye on that. And that'll be it for me today, guys. So tune in tomorrow. Until then, may the Force be with us all.